2020, roughly 58,000 soldiers were non-deployable. So that equates to roughly 13 brigade combat teams. So when you look at that in terms of readiness, it's just that many people weren't ready to deploy to go do the mission. And then when you talk about, well, why H2F? Well, a significant amount of it was MSKI injuries. So things that we would say are relatively preventable. So 53% of soldiers at the time reported a new injury annually. So every year something new was popping up. And out of 71% of those, they were cumulative overuse injuries, right? Which we, in the human performance realm, would look at as preventable, right? So there's injuries that are non-preventable, and then there's things that we say, hey, this probably is preventable if we have a structured plan around it, So they're looking at a large amount of these MSKI injuries that they think they can get after. In that time, 1 in 20 soldiers had failed their AFPT or APFT, so the old physical fitness test. Now these soldiers were also more likely to not be deployable if they were unfit. So, an unfit soldier was 49% more likely to be injured than others. So it goes back into how are we training? What are we doing? What does overuse look like? Are these preventable that get people back on the line and provide readiness? I think everything in human performance, we spend a lot of time in performance musculoskeletal, but as you look at H2F, it's very broad. You have nutrition, sleep, mental readiness. So sleep, 2015 RAND study, 1 in 20 active duty soldiers were 16% less likely to be ready to deploy because of chronic sleep deprivation. 2018 report showed 12% of the population had some form of sleep disorder. And they were categorizing sleep disorder as something as simple as under 5 hours of sleep a night. The other piece that the Army looked at is, hey, our population, it's an all volunteer force. So our population volunteers, signs up and then serves, which tends to be a younger population. Changing society has also created this essentially MSKI problem where we have less fit recruits coming into IMT or initial military training. So the Army has recognized all this over time. Same thing with got a fit nutrition in there, but any soldier that was overweight more likely to be injured. So the Army said, hey, this is a problem. We're struggling with readiness. We need to create a system and a team that can address these issues so we can have a fighting force.